Mama Gyanatimilangdasya Gyanajana Shalataya Chaksho Militanyena Tasmai Se Guruve Namaha. Panchakalpa Tarubhascha Kripa Sindhu Bhaivacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavibhyo Namo Namaha. So welcome everybody to our session today. Pass you over to Krishna Nandini Devidasi. She's going to introduce our speaker today. Well, you're on mute, Didi. Still on mute.
Okay.
There we go.
Hare Krishna. Today our speaker is Dr. Kanchan Sharma. She's a well-known Ayurvedic consultant practicing in the UK from nearly 18 years and is specialized in Panchakarma treatment, which is the Ayurvedic detox program. She serves as a committee member of the prestigious Ayurvedic Practitioners Association, APA of UK, and as a registered practitioner is authorized to carry out medical practice using Ayurvedic techniques. She runs her Ayurvedic consultation practice from 2 different locations in London with the help of qualified therapists. Many testimonials of her clients re-emphasize her conviction of less of medicine and more of happiness for health. She's frequently offering her talks at BAP's organization in South London, at Krishna Avanti School in Croydon, and has offered various seminars at many prestigious organizations, including civil services. She also runs regular workshops on Ayurvedic cooking and detox programs. Her command in English, Gujarati, Hindi, and Marathi makes her talks interesting and simple to understand for all audiences. Over to you, Dr. Sharma.
Namaste. Thank you so much. A warm welcome to all. I'm Dr. Kanchan Sharma, an Ayurveda consultant. So in Ayurveda, perfect health is defined as a balance between body, mind, spirit, social well-being. And this is what I do being an Ayurveda practitioner. I treat, cure, empower the being with the knowledge of beautiful science called Ayurveda. This is what I do to help people to understand their true nature and advise them to be healthy always by maintaining the balance in their energies. I help people convert their illnesses into wellnesses. And how do I do that? So from last 20 years, by following Ayurveda's basic principles and teachings, I have treated many people with all sorts of illnesses, but my main focus is treating chronic conditions such as diabetes, cardiovascular diseases, or arthritis, and as they can be reversed with a profound understanding about the basic principles of Ayurveda. So today's session, I will be focusing on basic concepts of Ayurveda and how it can help us to improve our well-being through the right choice of food. From this session, even if you incorporate one single tip, that is a success for us, and it would lead, all of us for the well-being through the right choice of food. So for many of you, the concept of Ayurveda, some terms which I will be using in this webinar can be relatively new. So please take your time to understand each term. Take notes as well, because I will be running through a question answer session at the end of this webinar. So throughout the chat, you can drop your questions as well, and I'll try my best to answer them towards the end of the webinar. So let's begin. Let me start sharing the PowerPoint presentation. Would you allow me to share the screen, please?
Yep.
Thank you.
It's okay. You've gone on to mute, I think. You're on mute.
It's not allowing me. It's staying one participant only.
Click on the three dots on her picture.
Pardon?
Top right. The three dots, top right of her picture.
Oh, yeah, I did that. Let me just try again, Diddy. So you're saying three dots. I've made her a co-host. Make host. I'll try again.
Make a co-host.
I did.
That way she will be allowed to use it. Perfect.
Oh, she's done. It's done. Good, good. Can everyone see this okay?
I'm not able to see anything aside from the participants.
Just gonna mute. There we go. I think we're getting somewhere.
There we go.
Yeah.
Can you see the screen?
Yes.
Perfect. Yeah. Okay. Fantastic. Thank you for being. Okay. Let's begin. Annam Brahma Raso Vishnu Bhakto Devo Maheshwara Evam Natva Tuyo Bhunkte Anna Dosho Nalipyate. The creative energy in food is Brahma. The nourishing energy in the body is Vishnu. The transformation of food into pure consciousness is Shiva. If you know this, then any impurities in the food you eat will never become part of you. When you eat with this awareness, the food becomes pure and no toxins stay in you. Food is the fuel for human body, for growth, for life, for survival. A tiny body of 10 pounds will grow due to food, becoming a 150-pound body. The word used in food, for food in both Ayurveda and Yoga is ahara. Ahara is derived from the Sanskrit root ru, which has a wide meaning. It includes the earth, water, heat or fire, air and space, all of the 5 elements of this universe which support and benefit our growth. So this leads to our second slide. What is Ayurvedic cooking? And there are many misconceptions about Ayurvedic cooking. First is that it is only for vegetarian people. And then second is it is only Indian food. The truth is any food can be considered as Ayurvedic as long as it is fresh, in season and prepared in a conscious, loving manner. An Ayurvedic diet is an eating plan that provides guidelines for you when you eat, what you eat, how you eat to boost your health, prevent or manage disease, and maintain wellness. If you follow an Ayurvedic diet, you will eat primarily whole or minimally processed food and practice mindful eating rituals. It is difficult to understand Ayurvedic nutrition from Western point of view, where quantity is determined by serving size, portion size, or in calorie intake. In contrast to Western dietary understanding, Ayurveda states that a diet can be vegetarian, plant-based, or a non-vegetarian, animal-based, and portion size should be customized for each individual according to one's own need, body constitution, and Agni Bala, the digestive fire. So these 3 things are really, really important to understand the Ayurvedic concept behind the cooking, that it is for one's need, the body constitution, and the digestive fire. Also, the quality and the properties of food should be taken in consideration, such as whether it is heavy to digest, whether it is light and oily. Foods like rice may be digested easily as opposed to pork meat that is heavy and oily. Thus, the quantity and quality of food is often weighed on the basis of how effectively the food is digested. That's a huge difference when you think about Ayurvedic cooking and the Western concept of food, nutrition, quantity, calorie. Yeah. Furthermore, Ayurveda emphasizes that a diet must be properly selected and wisely formulated, not only according to the physical conditions of a person, but taking into consideration the body type, which I just mentioned, whether it is Pitta, Kapha, or Vata. And we'll come to that point, in later on slides, and should complement the seasonal and daily changes and other natural factors that surround an individual. According to Ayurveda, the use of wholesome food promotes health, while unwholesome food manifests diseases. So there are a couple of things on this slide. I'm just going to read it through, like such as waking up feeling stiff, heavy feeling in the stomach after eating, frequent gas, bloating, thick coating on your tongue in the morning, chronic bad breath, excessive sweating, strong body odor, loss of appetite, low energy, fatigue. We can add to this as actually general aches and pains, having negative emotions, irritability, depression. So what are these? These are our body's signs. Our bodies gives us signs each and every day about our health. The problem is many of us consider warning signs as normal and part of aging. But our bodies are not designed to age this way. The preventative science of life, Ayurveda, has a lot to offer. And simply by following Ayurvedic teachings, we can keep many health-related issues away from developing into serious chronic conditions or health problems. So what is Ayurveda? You must have read about Ayurveda. And if you Google it, there is a very standard definition you find. It's Ayurveda. It's a two-word Sanskrit word. Ayu stands for life and Ved stands for science. And it is actually, I can say that from last 20 years, I'm practicing Ayurveda. And it is actually, literally, the meaning is science of life. Each and every teachings from Ayurveda, it's still applicable. Even though this science is written, we can get the references back from somewhere from 3,500 years to 5,000 years, Still, it is still applicable. It is a timeless science. And what it is based on, this is based on 5 basic elements. What Ayurveda believes is we, as well as whatever is surrounding us, environmental, everything is made up of Panchatattva and 5 basic elements. Whole theory of Ayurveda is based on these 5 elements. These 5 elements combine together at the time of birth, and then they manifest into 3 basic energies. When we take birth, these 3 basic energies, we born with these 3 basic energies, which you often hear this term whenever there is Ayurveda, Vata, Pitta, Kapha. What is Vata, Pitta, Kapha is the 3 basic energies we are born with. And the proportion of these makes us unique individual. It's like something like a genetic fingerprint. Each one of us has got a unique genetic fingerprint. Similarly, each one of us has got a specific combination of these 3 energies. Vata, Pitta, Kapha. Vata dosha, which is the combination of air and space. So out of those 5 elements, when air and space, these 2 elements combine together, they form a energy, which is the Vata energy, which is the air energy. Fire and water, when they combine together, they form an energy which represents fire, Pitta, okay, and water and earth. When these two elements combine together, they form a energy, earth energy, okay, which is the Kapha energy. These 3 doshas energy let body's organ work together in harmony. They also create your relationship with the environment and universe. An Ayurvedic practitioner believes that health depends on the correct balance of these 3. Balance is order, imbalance is disorder. Health is order, disease is disorder. within the body, there is a constant interaction between order and disorder. And when one can understand the nature, and structure of disorder, then only we can understand the nature of order. Yeah, so understanding the balance between these three energies, understanding what you are made up of, what are your energy, is the base, and this is the science of life. Once you got hang of it, once you know whether you are fire dominant, air dominant, or kapha dominant, you can then adjust your dietary changes, your lifestyle changes. You can base upon this knowledge, and you can stay away from many chronic elements happening to you. Okay, this is the knowledge what Ayurveda provides us. And then there are tools, there are daily routine, there is a specific diet for Vata, there is diet for Pitta, there is diet for Kapha, lifestyle for each dosha. And that is what is Ayurveda is basically. Okay. Go on through that. Okay, fantastic. I'm going to little bit elaborate on this Vata, Pitta, Kapha, because it is utmost important to understand the energies, these energies, and then we can understand about the food qualities in relation to this Vata, Pitta, Kapha. So this is called a three dosha theory in Ayurveda. Vata, Pitta, and Kapha. So these three energies are energies for movement, metabolism, and structure. So Vata is a movement. Yeah, Vata is air. So when you look at or think about it as a energy, try to think about the unique qualities this element has got. So air and space, what are the basic qualities comes in your mind when you think about air and space? It's cold, it's moving, yeah, and it's boundless. Air and space. And these are the qualities we can see in our mind as well. So air is moving. So what a person who has got a lot of air energy would be very creative, but not stable, always moving. Okay. So at the moment I'm in South Africa, my mind is in India, my mind is in UK. The next thought would be something different. Secondly, I give you another example. I have interest in I love dancing. I love painting. I love drawing. I love music. Okay. I love reading books. I want to go out for a walk. So lots of interest these people will have who has got air energy, because remember, it's not stable. Even the mind and body, it's not stable, and there is no boundary to it. So imagination, these people are really good with their imagination, creativity, okay, daydreaming, okay, lots of energy, but then sudden drop of energy as well. So in balance, they are very friendly, they have high energy, they have high imagination. So these people are quite good in the creative field, something like graphic designing, something like advertisement, where you need a lot of ideas, one after other, quick thinking. So these people can be really good fit for that. And that is where Ayurveda actually suggests, according to your body type, what could you go and progress into, what subject you can choose if you want to be a master of something. And that's again a science of life. So Ayurveda is applicable at every stages of your life, basically. So that's about Vata energy, I would say. It's the energy for movement. Anything like walking, thinking, anything which involves movement is because of the Vata energy, the air energy we are able to do. So balanced Vata can make you full of energy, happy, enthusiastic, creative. And the mind, when its mind is calm as well, clear and alert. But when this Vata goes out of balance, you can imagine like when, the air, if it's strong air, the breeze, soothing breeze, everybody likes it. When it's strong wind, it's destruction. Yeah. So that's where you need to make sure understanding the body signs and symptoms, that Vata is going high, that I'm not able to keep concentration. I'm thinking one moment at this time, and secondly, I start picking up something, I don't finish the job and I'm jumping on to other. Okay. I go for this job, maybe in a couple of months I get bored of it and I start looking for another job. My interests are constantly changing, and that should trigger, hang on a minute, why it's happening? It's little bit of excess of that Vata energy. There is no grounding to it. Yeah. And that's where the diet and lifestyle can help to bring you back that excess energy and make you a balanced person. Okay, that's Vata. Let's move on to the second one, which is Pitta dosha. And Pitta dosha, as the element suggests, it's water and fire. Fire. Pitta is fire. Before you complete a sentence, the person in front of you is ready with the answer. That's high Pitta. Don't want to listen about anything because I know everything. I am the master. I am the witty. I'm the knowledgeable person. But that's when the Pitta is really out of balance. When Pitta is in balance, they are competitive, they are the leader, and you can single them out in a group. Actually, they are the leader. They have the wisdom and they know how exactly when to use which word. Okay, so Pitta in balance, really good leader they can be, with their wisdom and with their understanding when to use the words. They can actually they are very attractive. You can, definitely in a group of people, you can single out the Pitta personality. They are just in a balance. Okay, so that's what Pitta helps. Apart from that, Pitta is metabolism. So even the thoughts coming, now you are listening to me, but for that, the understanding, the Dhruti Smriti, we call the mind has got 3 different sections as well. Okay, so that understanding, that assessment of thoughts actually, okay, all this happens because of the Pitta. Okay, and Pitta in balance is definitely really courageous. They would not shy away from taking decisions, whether all of the group members are opposite, but if Pitta person believe this is the rightest thing to do, he or she will go ahead with that decision. Okay, so that clear understanding is what Pitta provides you. When you eat something, the digestion happens because of this Pitta energy, and this is where most of our understanding about Ayurvedic cooking is based on the Jatharagni. Agni, wherever there is Agni, there is Pitta, there is fire. Okay, the third is Kapha. Now, giving you example of Kapha. Kapha is 2 elements, earth and water. When these 2 combine together, imagine a soil and water. If you mix together, what happens? You get a structure, isn't it? A gooey structure, clay. Okay. Kapha, this is Kapha. This gives us this structure. So our bones, a solid structure, what gives us, as in our body is due to Kapha. Again, what it is? Water and earth, and the qualities are stable. The structure, the more heavy, towards heavy side, it's stable, it's unmovable, and you can imagine these attributes in psychologically and physically as well in a person who is heavy on Kapha dosha. So these people usually like to just sit down and relax. There is no sort of urgency for anything. Okay, I'll do it. Fine. If you have appointment at 9 o'clock, this person probably will get out of the bed at 8:30 and then will slowly get ready. So this is like kind of very slow, soothing. And you always, we have one friend most of the time, where we like to give, this is like a hug, we want to give hug and cuddle, and any problem we just want to share with that friend. These personalities are usually Kapha dominant personality, where just by having them around us, we feel that comfort. We feel protected. They give us that grounding, nurturing, that kindness, because they're very stable. So again, there are positive. When in balance, this is what you would get from a Kapha person. Very loyal, very loving, very forgiving, doesn't get angry at all, just listen to you, take their time to, listen. As opposed to Pitta, who won't even allow you to finish your sentence. As opposed to Vata, who will probably 3-4 sentences, 3-4 different thoughts putting on you directly. Yeah? This Kapha is completely listening to you nicely and then just giving you probably a hug, a pat on your back, and just fine. That sort of imbalance. If it's not in balance, the water, the main element is water. So we will feel swelling, you know, so you find swelling under the eye bags, you will feel. Then anything related to kapha, which is the mucus. So physically condition wise as well, these people are predominant disposition would be asthma, something, you know, with upper respiratory tract diseases because of the heaviness and the water element. Okay, so this is our Vata, Pitta, Kapha, three unique doshas, three unique energies, and these are the attributes, I would call it. So when you think about Vata, think about really it's moving, it's cold, it's harsh. Okay, when it's Pitta, it's tikshna, sharp, pungent, really fire. You know, imagine this quality. And when it's Kapha, just imagine soil, water and soil, a clay. How is it? It's stable. It's cold actually. When you touch it, it's cold, isn't it? So it's very easy to understand the properties if you try to imagine. And exactly what I want from you is when you choose a food, each food has got either they increase Vata energy or Pitta or Kapha energy, or they are balancing. Once you understand this, you know, basic energies, it's very easy to choose and make your diet on Ayurvedic principle. Okay, so that's our three energies. And as I mentioned earlier, that each one, Prakruti is a unique composition of physical and psychological characteristics and the way body function to maintain health. This is a very central concept of Ayurvedic healing. And it all, you know, depends on a ability of Ayurvedic practitioner. Because when person come to me, I send out a specific questionnaire. The answers come back to me, and then I check the nadi, pulse reading. With that, then I decide whether this person has pitta, vata, or kapha dominance. And on that, this forms the base of the treatment. So this is very, very important to get your Prakruti right. Okay, and that is the very unique concept of Ayurveda. I would just like to make a comment here. So as I said, life presents us with many challenges and opportunities. Although there is much over which have little control, we do have the power to decide about some things, such as diet and lifestyle. To maintain balance and health, it is important to pay attention to these decisions. Diet and lifestyle appropriate to one's individual constitution strengthen the body, mind, and consciousness. So it is all in our hand, making the right choices. Okay, and okay. So let's go back. Yeah. So these are the, according to Ayurveda, these are the three basic pillars of healthy mind and body. So this is equal importance is given to these three concept: diet, sleep, and exercise. And today's topic is all we are going to focus about only diet. And to be able to understand diet in Ayurvedic perspective, one needs to understand, again, this is a very unique concept to Ayurveda, Agni, Jatra. So we learned about Prakruti, the unique constitution, three doshas, 5 elements, and this is another Ayurvedic term. I do understand for quite few of you, you're hearing this term maybe first time, and that is why I said just try, read it, understand it, try to take notes, and if you have any questions, definitely put it through the chat box, and we will look into it later on. So Agni again, fire, and this is a Ayurvedic term which is used in the sense of digestion of food and metabolic products. When we talk about Agni, what comes in your mind? Fire. Yes? So Havan, like we do Yagya, that is Agni as well. Okay? So Pitta, Agni, Jataragni, the main sthan, the main body organ where Agni is situated is our stomach as per Ayurveda. And when we have a symptom of over acid, like acidity, you feel it in your stomach, yeah, and that is the place of Agni, Jataragni, where all the digestion happens, where all the metabolism happens. And that is the concept of Agni. We are going to okay, let's go back to here. Okay. Agni is your belly fire in simple terms. You feel it as hunger. When you feel hungry, that sense is your Agni. I'm trying to just make it a little bit simpler for you understand what Agni, what comes in your mind, how you can relate the Agni to. It's your belly fire and you feel it through your hunger. Your hunger is an intelligence of your overall health. When you're not in sync with the function of your hunger, you mess up your Agni. Imbalance Agni leads to Ama, and Ama is another concept. Ama literally stands for undigested food. So if you have strong Agni, good Agni, all food, whatever you eat will get digested. Okay. But if you have weak Agni, weak digestive fire, the same amount of food will not get digested and it will leave undigested food in your system, which is called Ama. Okay. It is a metaphor for our own digestive system. So functions of Agni. So Agni helps us in absorption, assimilation, metabolism, digestion, perception, taste, touch, hearing, vitality, clarity, alertness, and regular appetite. The Ayurvedic concept of Agni or fire is critically important to our overall health. To understand the concept more clear, we can relate it to hydrochloric acid. So here probably you would start, making little bit of connection now. So when I say it's little bit more like a hydrochloric acid, which is residing mostly in the stomach as hydrochloric acid, it is the term that covers all digestive enzymes. Hydrochloric acid in adequate amount is necessary for secretions of enzymes and bile for good digestion. So the first implication of inadequate hydrochloric acid is restricted secretion. The chyme becomes more sticky and adheres to the wall. These toxins get into the bloodstream and then to digestive tract. So the ability of absorbing nutrients from GI tract becomes impaired. So what we relate it to, in simpler terms, what Agni is the hydrochloric acid. It is a complete term which covers hydrochloric acid as well as the digestive enzymes, which are needed for us to digest the food and not just digest, absorb the essential nutrients as well. Okay. The serious consequences will be developing disorders such as chronic fatigue, migraine, arthritis, or degenerative mental disorders. The less amount of hydrochloric acid in stomach, it leads to passing down more bacteria, viruses, environmental factors, parasites, and yeast from food into the intestine rather than being destroyed in the acid. And the balance of gut flora begins to compromise, leading to disease. Due to exposure to unfriendly bacteria, the cell walls start weakening and inflammation and condition called leaky gut develops. This is quite a lot to take in if you are listening to Ayurvedic talk for first time. And this is where I'm trying to make it more relatable. That simply put it this way, what is Agni is a combination of digestive enzymes and hydrochloric acid. If you have a good proportion of it, you will digest any sort of food, whether it's heavy, whether it's not suitable for your body type, still you would be able to digest it. If you don't have a good proportion of this hydrochloric acid and digestive enzymes, the food would not get digested properly. And along with that, there would be a chances of fast passing down bacteria, viruses, and parasites. Okay, the more acidities, the good proportion of acidities, there is a chance that this get killed in your stomach basically. And this will lead to a chronic condition. Okay, and that is why it is so important to have balanced Agni. So it's not just choosing the right food for your body type, it is to having a right digestive fire as well. Okay, and as per Ayurveda, there are 4 types of digestive fire. One is balance, which is regular hunger. How do you know that you have a balanced digestive fire or balanced Agni? You feel hungry at 3 times a day at regular times: breakfast time, lunch time, and dinner time. That is a balance. That is a regular digestive fire. Irregular is erratic. Like maybe I feel hungry for one day in the morning when I wake up. Then whole day I don't feel like I should eat anything. And then in the midnight, I get this cravings, 2 o'clock in the morning, that is erratic. That is not normal. Okay. Intense hunger. They says that when who has got the pitta energy in dominance, okay, and if they have this intense hunger, you really don't want to be near that pitta person when they are hungry, because what they can think of is just food, and if they don't get food, outburst, anger. You probably know some people like that, those who cannot control the hunger. So these people, if you know you are high pitta and you can't control your hunger, these people should always carry at least one banana wherever they go, before outbursting their anger on surrounding. And it's always good to satisfy that. And that's where the knowledge comes from, when you start listening to your body. And the last is weak. Like maybe you don't even feel like eating anything days, I give you a simple example for Ekadashi, Ekadashi fasting. Some people just do it like water on water. Some people without eating or drinking anything. For some people, it is actually really hard. They want to eat fruit a couple of times, dry fruit and juices, and maybe, potatoes and sweet potatoes and dishes made up of. So you see this different level, that how one person can do fasting without eating and drinking for a long time, and how a person cannot even they had proper breakfast in the morning, just before the lunchtime they feel strong hunger. What they can think is about only food. So these are the basic 4 types of digestive fire. And if you have a weak or low appetite, do not ignore it. Okay, there can be different reason why you are going through that patch. I'm not gonna explain on that at this time. But if you ever feel that you have a weak appetite, that you don't feel hungry as you're supposed to, or you were feeling hungry, that is a sign of weak appetite. Simple solution is just start using this. It's a simple digestive aid. All these ingredients are easily available, and it is so effective. So sometimes when you are coming out from a long-term sickness, you feel there is a decrease in your digestive fire. You don't really feel, there is no taste in your mouth. So this helps. Really, really simple recipe. Before eating food, have it a couple of times a day before eating food, and you see the increase in your digestive fire. Okay. So I will share this, PowerPoint as well. But if you want to take a note of this, okay. And that's another concept when you talk about Ayurvedic cooking is ama. So I'm going to repeat myself here. So 5 elements we've gone through, 3 doshas we've gone through. Okay. We've gone through the digestive fire concept, which is very unique to Ayurveda, and we related it to hydrochloric acid and a perfect combination of digestive enzymes. Okay. If you don't have that good digestive fire, what happens is undigested food stays in your body, which creates toxins, which we call it's a Sanskrit word in Ayurveda, which is called ama. It translates literally into unripe, uncooked, raw, immature, or undigested. Now put this back into the concept of, if you have good amount of digestive enzyme, whatever food you eat will get digested and your body will receive nutrients, nourishment. Simple as that. If you don't have good digestive fire, the food will remain undigested, stays in your body, half cooked, half digested, and the body will not receive 100% the nutrients from that food. Okay, so this is a very unique concept again, and this is really good to understand what exactly ama. There is a lot of people who come to me, ask me, I want to do detox, and I ask, what exactly detox mean to you? Oh, a couple of days fasting, drinking ginger tea, and that should clear my whole body. And it's not that simple as it seems, because if you have weak digestion, if you have odd timings eating wise, if you don't eat as per your Prakruti, over the years, there is a buildup in your system of this undigested food. No matter how, you are selecting the ingredients, whether there's organic, very expensive, unique ingredients, it doesn't matter. If your body is not ready to digest that and transform it into a nutrient, that will stay in your body, and it's a sticky mucousy substance which then starts coating your internal organs, and that is what its ama is. So any Ayurvedic practitioner, when you go to, and if you're trying to get treatment for a chronic condition, the first thing the Ayurvedic practitioner should be doing is giving you a detox, cleanse. And it's not that simple as just fasting 1 or 2 times. It's not that simple. There are specific Ayurvedic herbs, there are specific Ayurvedic techniques, but the whole point of that is clearing your body from this ama, a very sticky substance. Sometimes you feel bloated, heavy, there is no lack of energy. And if it is a habit, if you see that every day happening, that's the body is trying to make you understand there is a lot of accumulation of ama in your body. Okay, so we need to understand this concept. This chart is really, really good actually to make a comparison. If you have good Agni, these are the signs you will feel in yourself. That is clear breath, clear tongue, normal appetite, that you had breakfast, in 3 hours time, your body is asking you for more food. So that's a good sign. That means the meal is been digested. Whatever you had previously, it's been digested. The body is ready to accept the new food now. If you had lunch at 12 o'clock and by 4 o'clock, you're feeling peckish, that's amazing. That's fine. That is absolutely 3 to 4 hours of a time. Body takes naturally, depending on, again, it's a very unique genetic, I would say that I have high digestive fire or metabolism. My metabolism is really high. But if it is from 3 to 6 hours anytime, let's put it this in simpler way. So if you had breakfast 6 o'clock in the morning, and if you're feeling hungry at 12 o'clock, absolutely fine. When you eat food at 12 o'clock and you're feeling hungry at 6 o'clock in the evening, absolutely fine. This is how it should be. That is a normal rhythm, of digestion. Good strength, you would say, and mental clarity. See, Agni is not just dependent, and Agni is just not related to digestion. It's digesting your thoughts as well. Having a clear mind as well. Agni helps with that. There are 13 types of Agni, and it helps with that as well. So we're not just restricting or understanding Agni in terms of just digestive fire. If it is not there, if the Agni is not strong, what will happen? So on the other hand, you will see what are the symptoms you can feel is foul breath, coated tongue, first thing in the morning. This is a very good technique to, notice like whether you have ama, the toxins in your body or not. First thing when you wake up in the morning, go and check your tongue. Okay. And if it is thick white coating, that means there is definitely a lot of disposition of the toxins in your body. You either need to change your diet, do a little bit of fasting, drink lots of water. There are then options available, but you need a good cleanse basically. Okay, that is the first sign you would see on your tongue. Dull appetite and sluggishness. So this is the comparison for Agni, good Agni, and if it is not, if you have ama, what can you see in your body? Okay, that takes us to the this. I get a lot, I get this question asked a lot of time. What is Satvik food? Is it spiritual food? Is it Indian food? Is it Hindu food? Or is it, Indian food? A lot of things. But I guess because I can see a lot of you probably have a better understanding about what is Satvik food. So I'm going to speak on behalf of like an Ayurvedic perspective. What is Satvik food? When it comes in your mind, it's maybe no onion and garlic. That's first thing somebody would say. What is Satvik food? Oh, it's made no onion, no garlic, no meat. Yeah, these 3 things are absolutely right, but it's more to it actually. The Satvik word means it's a good combination of all 6 tastes, all 6 flavors. And it's based more, the Satvik food is based, the emphasis is given on more seasonal food. So now the season of mango is coming, yeah? But we have mango pulp throughout the year. So if I'm eating mango pulp in month of December, that's not a sattvic food for me. Are you getting it? So it's a shift, it's a change in thinking, yeah? Even though it's fruit, but it's not in season. So that is not sattvic. So sattvic is not restricted just to non-vegetarian, exclude non-vegetarian and exclude onion and garlic. It's not sattvic. It's a much more deeper meaning to sattvic food. And I'm going to highlight more on the 6 taste, which is again a very unique concept to Ayurveda, and why it is important to incorporate all the 6 tastes at each meal time and how easily you can do that. Okay, so that's the sattvic food. Let me quickly just get this. So this is a little bit explanation of what I would understand as a sattvic food. Okay, so yes, it has to be freshly cooked meal. Ayurveda suggests when you make a meal, when you prepare food, you should eat it within the 45 minutes. You should never reheat your food. And that is why, again, it is linked to offering the God. When we offer any food to God, we don't offer a food which has been pre-cooked like previous day or left over in a fridge. We don't do that, do we? No, we make a fresh meal, we offer it to God, and then we savor it. So the religion and science is linked very much. It is just not because we believe in something. It is a scientific reason why is that when we cook food within the 45 minutes, because already we have done a process on that food. Okay, so you made dal, you boiled it, you sauteed it, you added spices to it. So already the enzymes in that food has gone through a lot of changes. Okay, by either roasting it, puree it, boiling it. These are different procedures we do on food when we cook food, which changes the quality of food. We all understand this. So roasting, sauteing, frying, boiling, what happens is it changes the quality of a food. Okay, now it has changed the quality, the enzyme structure has changed. If you leave it for a longer time, it's going to change it more even. And that is why to have the best nutrients, one must prepare a food and eat it within 45 minutes. Okay, it has to be organic. We all know about it. So, why organic? We all know about it. So to be a sattvic food, we are talking about wholesome, whole fruit, whole wheat, then processed and pasteurized. Why we need it? It's because we believe the food, again, the same shloka, what I started my talk today, is we believe it's Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh resides in Anna. We call Anna Devata. Yeah, what we believe, it's what we are, what we eat. There is a saying, what we are, what we eat, basically. We believe that each food ingredient has got a pran in it. Okay, and that pran is coming to us. What pran is actually? Is the live enzymes in that food. Okay, and why vegetarian food? Why vegetarian food is considered as a sattvic food? So plants, roots, we believe they have feelings, yeah? We believe they have prana. We believe they have lots of nutrients in it. And when they are alive, even if it is frozen food is better than canned or tinned food. Okay, I always suggest that. People say, we are working families, we can't get fresh food all the time. I said, that's fine. You can go for a frozen food. So peas, if you can't get fresh one from the grocers, go for the frozen one, but never ever use a canned or tinned peas. Okay, the frozen ones are plucked when they are at their best maturity. So all the all the nutrients are locked at that time. Then they get plucked and then they get, stored. So all the nutrients are intact in that frozen food. Okay, we're talking about not processed, just frozen. Okay, not ready meals which are, you know, frozen. No, so raw ingredients like peas, carrots, we get all vegetables, frozen vegetables we're talking about. They have the life, the prana, the enzyme in it. Would it be the similar if you have a meat, or you know, it would not be similar, isn't it? There is no life, there is no prana to it, and that is why we avoid that including into the sattvic food. Sattvic food is the organic, wholesome, and it is vegetarian food. Okay, but don't forget the seasonal aspect of it, because I will definitely believe that you have to eat as per your Prakruti, but as per the season. Why? Because remember, we are made up of Pancha Tattva, 5 elements. Never ever, and that is the connection, never ever keep yourself separate than the universe. We are just part of that, you know, made up of that 5 elements. So that's about the sattvic food. If somebody has question about that, we will take that later on, and according to diet and moderate portions. Fantastic. So this is just a quick list of what is sattvic, rajasic, and tamasic food. So again, we are talking only about the sattvic, the gunas here, that each food has its own guna as well. And sattva, rajatama, as we have the qualities of mind, usually we see that these are the qualities of mind. The food has definitely their own qualities, and what we eat, what we are, is based on this three guna theory. Basically, if you eat food from the first chart, which is the sattvic food, you naturally will show the qualities of a sattva guni person. Okay, your responses would be towards sattva guna. If you feel, if your diet is heavily based on the rajoguni, the rajasic, so lots of coffees in the morning and chocolates and all these sorts of onion and garlics, you will definitely see a difference in a person, you know, that it is a rajoguni person. Okay, so consciously people who want to and who are walking on a spiritual and yogic path, it is advised to them to shift their diet to sattva guni, sattvic diet, so that the qualities of mind, you control the mind better way. It's strong link between what you eat, what you are, the mind. If you, and this is again based on the Vedas, the system we had, the 4 varnas. You know, this food is linked to the 4 varna vyavastha. Like it was a segregation, like Brahmins, what they supposed to eat, or people who are kshatriya, the warriors, what they supposed to eat. So when we say about Brahmin or yogic or spiritual, you know, people walking on that path, their diet was designed on sattva guna, sattvic side. So plant-based, or, you know, fresh fruit, or fasting a lot, just boiled, not too many of spices. But if the person is warrior, then the diet was suggested definitely to eat meat, or, you know, have this, so that that guna, the tamo guna, the fighting spirit in your mind as well as your body, you know, it helps you to develop that. So today we are going to focus just on the sattva guna. So there is a list of things which, if you want to become and shift your diet towards sattvic, these are the ingredients you should be making your food from. Okay, so that comes to our next is how cooking changes quality of food. You know what, we human beings have a digestive system which starts from our lips, teeth. Okay, and other like animal kingdom, probably they have their digestive system starts from stomach. That's why they eat food, they chew little bit, but they just push it down in the stomach, and then the regurgitation happen, then they bring it back, and then they mix it with saliva. So it's a completely different process. For us human being, this process of digestion starts from the mouth. So that's why it's very important to chew your food at least 32 times. What happens with that? because our saliva, it gets mixed with the saliva, okay? Then it gets down to your stomach. Again, it gets mixed with digestive enzyme. We talked about it with the respect of the hydrochloric acid and digestive enzyme. It gets mixed up, okay? And then it goes down to your smaller intestine, then bigger intestine. So this is what a normal digestive system works. How cooking changes the quality of food. Do we eat beans as it is, or do we soak them and boil them? Yeah, that should give us like example that how cooking changes the quality. So always, and there is another concept in Ayurveda that never eat raw food. Have you heard about it? That the Ayurveda never ever advise to eat raw food. So salads, that sometimes when I suggest this, people actually respond, oh no, salad's supposed to be the most healthy food. If I want to lose weight, I'm just going to be on salad. But actually, our digestive system is not developed to digest the raw ingredients. We need to make it little bit of digestible by doing some process, sanskara we call it. What are these sanskaras on the food is either we roast it, either we fry it, either we parboil it, either we boil it, we pressure cook it, we make it easy to digest. We don't and we should not eat food in its raw state. If you eat salad in its raw state, what is salad? It's high fiber. Yeah, it's high on fiber. It takes a lot of body's energy to digest that fiber and lynch the essential nutrients from that salad and then reach it out to different body parts. If you little bit saute it and use spices to make it really easily digestible, the same salad would still going to give you the exact nutrients, but for your digestive system, it would be easy to digest. Okay, so we believe that the cooking changes the quality of food and its nutrient content as well. So again, another theory here, like proponents of raw food diets argue that cooking food destroy nutrients. I always get to hear this, that if we cook salad, it will destroy the nutrients and vital enzymes. However, research shows that the plant enzymes found in raw food are digested and broken down by our own enzymes, therefore do not contribute to our digestive function and nutrition. In addition, the minerals and vitamins in some fruits and vegetables are actually less bioavailable when we eat them raw. For example, the beneficial carotenoids from carrots and lycopene from tomatoes are significantly higher when cooked. So if you want to have the perfect nutrient from a food, you need to really understand that raw food is not going to give you that 100% nutrients. You need to give some sanskaras, some process to that food. And here are the two examples like carrots and tomatoes given to you here. And lightly steaming, sauteing and simmering food at a low temperature can make food easy to digest. In fact, some food contains anti-nutrients that actually block food preparation, that actually block nutrient absorption, and many of those can be mitigated by the aforementioned food preparation methods. So keep in mind, however, that overcooking foods can reduce their nutrient content. Prana, the Sanskrit term I mentioned, it means the vital life force energy. So how do you maximize cooking in nutrients in cooking? And this is where the practical advice I'm going to share now. Okay, so soak pulses and beans at least 12 hours in water and cook them in spices to reduce the gaseous quality. Again, advisable is never ever use the canned food If you can use frozen, that's well and fine. And if you're using the dry beans, definitely make sure you're soaking them overnight. They will be easy to digest. They would not be a burden on your digestive system, and you would get the best nutrients from them. If you cook them with lots of spices, then usually what we find is people complain, when I eat moong or when I eat rajma or chickpea, I feel gaseous, I feel bloated. Yes, because again, it's not very easy to digest. You need to boil it, you need to pressure cook it, then you need to add the right amount of spices to make it more digestible. Then only your body will digest it and you get the 100% benefit from that, nutrients from that cooking. Use sprouted beans. They have, we all know about how nutrient wise it's good to have, to eat sprouted beans. How I usually do, I have a busy lifestyle, working family, young family, and a school going kids. So I still want to do 5 days of fresh cooking from fresh ingredients. So how do I manage to do that? On Sundays are usually my day. So I will soak mung beans, chickpea, any beans, whatever I have, I will soak them overnight. Then I take them out and tie it in a cheesecloth or in a container, airtight container. I'll leave them so that they get easy, because London weather is a little bit tricky. It's not same throughout the year. So depending on the weather, now I got this nice gadget, instant pot, which is helping me to, sprout the beans really easy. So I use that as well. Once they are sprouted, I then put them in a Ziploc bag and deep freeze it. Okay, that's for my week. And then every single day I make them in a portion size. So I have sprouted beans at least at dinner time or lunch time. So that little preparation saves a lot of stress. It's all pre-planned, and still I'm getting the best nutrient out of that beans. Yeah, so simple. Soak them for in any one day, whatever day you have available. Just make sure 3 or 4 different beans you are just soaking them. Tie them in a cheesecloth. Once they're sprouted, Ziploc in freezer bag, and just make your 5 days meal with that. Okay. Vegetables, yes, ghee. We always recommend ghee in Ayurveda, not on any other oil. With spices, why cook with spices? What are spices? They're not just there for flavoring. They have actually medicinal properties as well, the spices. And when we saute them in oil or ghee, the volatile oils from that spices, they comes to the oil, and that's how we get the medicinal benefit from it. Okay, it's not just sprinkling them on your food. That wouldn't give you 100% benefit. You actually need to oil or ghee, you need to roast the spices to bring out the flavor and to bring out the volatile oils from the spices into that food. So there is a difference. Okay, so you can't just grind salt, pepper or cumin or coriander. You cannot, and you should not. If you want the maximum nutrients from that spices, the best thing to use the spices is you need to roast them to bring out the volatile oils from them, to bring out the flavor, and then use them in your cooking. Okay, there is a difference. So that's something, a tip there. Use bright colored vegetables. So again, a practical tip is when I go for shopping, and nowadays it's so quick turnaround, really, we want to avoid going into shopping and spending a lot of time, choosing. So we want it a really quick, going in, picking up the thing and come home quickly. So how I do it, when I go to vegetable sections or fruit section, I usually look out for different colors. So from purple, green, yellow, so all these different vegetables, I'll just pick from each color group. By doing so, I have a variety of nutrients in that basket. I'm spending less time and I'm getting different nutrients. Yeah. So rainbow, think about the rainbow. When you go into shopping center or into the food section, just don't be, oh, I don't like grapes, purple grapes, I like green grapes, or I don't like figs. No, fine. Choose from each color group. That is a very good tip. In that way, when you come home, when you see your shopping basket, you will actually have different phytonutrients from that vegetable and fruits. Okay, so that's increasing nutrients from your bright colored fruits and vegetables. Again, the last one I would suggest is soak and sprout nuts. So we all know about soaking almonds. Yeah, we should never eat almonds, raw almonds. Why is that? Because first, when you soak almond, it becomes easy to digest. Otherwise, almonds are very heavy to digest. 2 or 3, if you eat it, it takes the body a long time to digest it. If they are soaked, the enzymes become more easy to digest in your body. So, and when you take the peel off, it becomes even more easy and digestible. And that is why always soak the nuts. And then they will not become really heavy, and you don't need to worry about, cholesterol. So that's another thing. Yep, that's another tip there. How you can increase nutrients in everyday cooking is use cold press oil. And this is something I don't think so many people know, and they're doing it. So when we buy oil from store, usually it comes in a plastic container. Yeah, so what I tend to do is I transfer them into glass bottles. Okay, even though they claim that the plastic is biodegradable or whatsoever fancy terms on that, it is still a plastic, and the oil can go rancid if you leave it in that plastic container. So simply buy it from the store, but then convert it into a glass container if you're storing it. That is a good way of not losing any nutrients. So these are the techniques and tips within what you are using, what ingredients you have, but increasing the nutrients basically, okay? Yeah, addition to that, try to use wherever non-GMO and organic products. So usually go to farmers market where it's locally grown, so they spend less time in transport. So it's really, you probably get more fresh food if you get it from farmers market than superstores like Tesco, Sainsbury's, because they are locally grown, the transport time is less, and they are in season. So always I prefer to go to farmers market and do shopping there for foods and fruits and vegetables. Try to eat food with a peel. Again, there is not limitation to this, but whenever you have a choice, it's again the external factors. We are trying not to ingest anything which is not essential or can cause problem. So if it is the banana, you can take the peel off, you still have the fresh fruit inside, coconut, avocado. So this is something. So if I am, especially when you have kids, and if you want to make sure that yes, you are doing the right thing, but if you don't wash the grapes properly, there are chances that they might get some contamination, isn't it? So first thing, I'm not saying avoid eating grapes. What I'm suggesting, when you are in rush or when you are having, time constraint, try to use the food where you don't need to think about it and you're still giving the 100% nutrients basically. So bananas, avocados are easy, oranges, they're easy for kids. So peel, and then you don't need to really worry about like whether it's on the floor, is it touched the ground, it's touched by hands, or is it washed properly or not. You still can give them nutrients and they're safe. Frozen food, all this is done. Whole grain, yeah. So we talked about the spices. Why cooking with spices is really important is they're not just bringing out flavors, or they don't just make food flavorsome, but actually they are packed with healing power, and each spice has got its unique quality actually, and they rekindle the Agni digestive fire, and that is why it is imperative to use the spices in moderate proportion in each meal time basically. So these are usually the general spices what we see in cooking or any cuisine actually. I'm not going to say just Indian cuisine, but most of the world cuisine you will see more or less these sort of spices in one's kitchen. So cardamom, cumin, coriander. Maybe asafoetida is the one, it's quite unique to Indian cuisine and Sri Lankan cuisine. But yes, most of the other one are, you will see them in your kitchen. If we have time, let's have a look. We already gone past 1 hour and 15 minutes.
It's fine, you can continue.
Yeah, I'm just trying to say, because information for all the spices would be easily available for many platforms. So I'm just trying to relate to the, these are the spices we use, and why you should use it in Ayurvedic perspective is, this is the slide where I would like to spend some more time, because linking it back to the qualities and the energies. So yes, each spice has got its unique quality, but what you need to understand is which spice is good for you. Can I use ginger? No, if you have high pitta, you should not use ginger a lot. That would cause more increase in your fire and acid in your body. Okay, so this is where I'm the Ayurvedic concept of cooking is where I'm going to spend little time on this slide actually. Each spices have its own unique energies. So for example, here is the example: saffron, basil, fresh ginger. We are talking about fresh ginger, cumin, black pepper, and fennel. These all spices, they help to counteract the effect of vata. Again, go back to the vata quality: vata, air and space, dry and cold and sharp and mobile. So if you use these spices in your cooking, these spices, the properties are, they're a bit hot, they're pungent, they're sharp. So they're counteracting the effect of air. Okay, so if you have you feel bloated, or if you feel gaseous, stomach ache after eating food, make sure you use a lot of these spices. These are the spices which will help to reduce that vata effect from the food. Simply when we cook with beans is really notorious. They say when we eat beans, obviously some people do feel a lot of gas, flatulence in their stomach. So always advisable to cook beans, because it's vata dominant. Cook them with at least fresh ginger, cumin, coriander, you can add it, black pepper, add lots of spices to make it easily digestible. For pitta, again, pitta's qualities are really oily, sharp, hot, acidic. So this is hot, fire. What would be the opposite qualities you want to use in your food if you're changing your diet? Is cooling, soothing, calming. And which spices gives that effect is the mint. Think about just when you think, summer. So mint, using mint in your drink. Yeah, cucumber, slice of cucumber. You can feel that cool sensation, that soothing. And this is what you need to start thinking about, the qualities of food in relation to the energies, your own energies as well. So cinnamon, mint, coriander, these are very cooling. Fennel, very cooling spices. So to counteract the qualities of high pitta, you can use these spices in your cooking. Now last one is kapha. Kapha, again, very stable, dull, there is no movement, stagnant. So it's cold, basically, it's heavy. So opposite actions would be, we want something sharp, we want pungent, tikshna, hot. That would make that kapha bring back into life, counteracting effect with your food. So which spices has that effect? Put the clove on your tongue, you would see that effect. It's sharp, it's spicy. Black pepper, try putting a black pepper on your tongue and you would feel the taste, you would feel that sharpness, tikshna. So these are the qualities of the spices, and you can tweak a diet as per your Prakruti using these beautiful spices. And that's what is explained into this couple of slides, which I'm going to share now. So when we eat cheese, how is cheese, what quality you would think the cheese will have? It's made up of milk. So milk is heavy to digest, okay? It had a lot of process done. So it's towards the kapha. Yeah. When you eat cheese, you put on weight. That's connection again. It's cold. It's dull. Okay. It just stops you. It's just stable. Okay. These are the qualities of cheese. If you eat cheese and if you love eating cheese, to reduce that effect, the best thing is use lot of black pepper when you eat cheese. So cheese is dull, cold, stagnant, and that black pepper will counteract that effect. Okay. Same with curd, yogurt. Again in Ayurveda, yogurt is, one should not eat yogurt after the sun sets. Okay. So Agni is Jataragni, which is in ourself. Agni is in the 5 element, which is the fire element itself. And Agni itself is in the sun energy. Okay, these all 3 energies help us to digest the food. Curd, yogurt is very heavy to digest. Okay, it increases kapha, it increases mucus, especially when you eat it after sunset, which is not advisable in Ayurveda. You will feel the immediate effect. You will feel either runny nose, blocked nose, or some sort of thing, or it's heavy to digest. So how you can counteract that effect is add some cumin powder, roasted grounded cumin powder, or even fresh grated ginger to it to make it easy for digestion. Or the best way of eating curd is drinking buttermilk. And the best time to drink buttermilk is in the afternoon with your mealtime. It helps to digest, secrete the enzymes, and it helps to digest the food easily. And it just balances the gut flora, with good microbial balance. So it's really, really good rather than getting the bottled prebiotic, probiotic. It's very easy to make your own buttermilk at home and use this beautiful spices, simple cumin powder and Himalayan rock salt, grated ginger. A wonderful, refreshing drink is ready. Add some fresh cilantro and that's it. Okay, it's very easy digestive drink. Rice. There are lots of misconception about rice. It increases fat, it increases sugar, and a lot. It whole depend on how you are cooking your rice. And there are different ways to cook rice. If you are cooking rice with cinnamon and clove and then tempering it with cumin, it's fine. It's easily digestible. It becomes digestible. And that's why it says, you need to make sure you are adding the right spices to counteract the effect. If you do so, the rice will become easy to digest, but it would not, again, at the same time, it would not increase the kapha. And what is kapha again? Kapha is mixture of water and earth element, and it just makes you sluggish, steady. When you eat rice in the afternoon, you would see this effect actually. After having a heavy meal in the afternoon, you start dozing off after a while because it's quite heavy to digest. So make it with cumin seed and cloves, and it becomes easy to digest. We mentioned a lot about legumes and beans that cook it with lots of spices, add fresh ginger, clove, black pepper, rock salt to it so that it doesn't cause much of trouble, gas or distension. It's not applicable here, but onion and garlic seem to be really hot in nature, tamoguni, and that's why we don't really, the people who are walking on spiritual and yogic path, we don't recommend them to have these 2 ingredients in their diet. Even though they are vegetarian, we don't really tend to recommend it. Okay, green salad. Here comes the interesting bit. A lot of people think green salad is the most healthy meal and one can survive on salad, where Ayurveda strictly oppose that idea of eating raw salad. Again, because it's a high fiber content, it's not easily digestible. It produces gas and it's drying. So here I want to literally explain you why Ayurveda suggests no to green salad is because When you eat green salad, it takes a lot of amount of digestive enzymes from your body to digest that salad, first of all. And it's a fiber. If you don't drink enough water, that fiber is going to just sit in your intestine. That fiber from that raw salad is going to lynch the water from your intestine, making the stool, the end product, even more dry and hard to pass it out. Okay, that is why raw salad is not recommended. It just makes your intestine really dry. Why? Because of the high fiber. We agree up to this, yeah, it's high fiber content, and we think it's the best nutrient at the moment. Yes, it is right, but you need to complement it with enough amount of water to be able to pass it down your intestine. If you don't do that, it's gonna stuck, it's gonna stay there, and the fiber is going to absorb the water from your intestine, making the intestine really dry, sort of less mobile. So the peristaltic movement from your intestine, which helps the digested, undigested meal move further into a digestive tract, it stops the elasticity of the intestine. And that is why I strictly say, when people say, I want to lose weight and I'm doing this diet and that diet and I'm doing a lot of, I'm eating raw food, stop it, please. Have simple boiled food instead. Same salad, you can use it, saute it with some sort of, parboil it or do some process, sanskara on it, then eat it so that it is easily digestible. Increase the water content on that salad, but complement it with warm water as well. Then only you are getting the 100% nutrients from that salad. Okay, so you can make a nice dressing, olive oil, salt and pepper and mixed herbs. You can make it lemon drizzle and then add that and make it more tasty as well as digestible. And yes, if we have a good understanding about three dosha, each food and its qualities, like ginger, what would ginger increase? What would ginger balance? Ginger is hot. Ginger is sharp. So nowadays there is a trend that drink ginger tea first thing in the morning. Yeah, everybody wants to do detox by this thing, or lemon water first thing in the morning. So people say, I'm so healthy that I drink 1 or 2 liters of lemon water first thing in the morning. Fine, good. What is your Prakruti? Okay, questionnaire, sent back, answer question, came back as Pitta. And then they complain about, oh, I feel really acidic. I'm on omeprazole, I'm on lansoprazole. I'm doing so healthy stuff. I choose organic ingredients. Yeah, I eat, even though I'm not feeling hungry, I eat 3 times a day. I said, wonderful. If you're not hungry, you should not be eating first of all. Okay. So for us, the concept of healthy is quite misunderstood. For us, the concept of healthy is listen to your body. Everybody is unique. Ginger tea is good for my friend, but it's not good for me because I'm really born with high pitta. That ginger tea can increase the acid level in my stomach, can cause more problems to me. But my friend who is a kapha dominant, who has water and earth element high in that person, it's fine. It's absolutely doing wonders to her. So do not generalize the idea of what is healthy for one person is healthy to other. And this is where Ayurveda is. It's a very unique system. It's not one, prescription is for all, like paracetamol works for everybody. It is not like that. It's focused on mind, body, and soul, your own entity. And that one that you understand what are your qualities are, it's so easy to choose the food. You wouldn't just go by the trend then, oh, it's trending, hashtag lemon water in the morning. No, it's not, because lemon, again, making it more acidic for you. It's not good for you. So you are not. You can rather go for a cinnamon tea, simple. Or even fennel tea. Choosing the right food choices, and that's where it helps us to choose the right choices as per food and your lifestyle as well. And what helps us again more, it is, I'm sorry, it is a lot to take in from this session actually. We're talking about doshas, we're talking about gunas, we're talking about ama, agni, And now we're going to talk about the 6 taste, which is again a very basic concept of Ayurvedic cooking. If you want to understand and make your food in Ayurvedic principle, this is where you need to come down to understanding there are 6 taste Ayurveda mentions. For first time listener, it would be too much to take in, but you have a lot of help available after this session. If you are more interested, you can go online and Google about this 6 taste, and there is a lot of literature available, but really make your, base really clear with this 6 taste. So sweet, sour, salty, bitter, pungent, and astringent. And what I would believe is at each meal time, one should include all these 6 tastes in your diet so that your mind, body, and soul gets satisfied. And there is no sort of depletion or increase in any energy. It's always in a balance. These all 6 tastes depend on the 8 gunas, the main gunas. Either the food, so when we talk about food, a food can be either heavy or light. Okay, it can be sharp or dull. It's hot or cold. It's oily or wet and dry. So these are basic qualities. If you put an ingredient in front of you, you can check these qualities. Okay, so that's the basis of 6 guna. And now we talk about each guna in quick session. I'm not going to be too descriptive on this, but just to give you understanding what are 6 gunas and how we can incorporate and how we are already incorporating it and what we need to change in our diet in Ayurvedic perspective. So sweet, again, remember Ayurveda is wholly based on the 5 elements. So sweet guna we think is combination of earth and water. Now earth and water, remember the dosha related to this is kapha. Earth and water forms a clay. Imagine that again, and it's kapha. So sweet is really related to kapha dosha. The more sweet food you eat, the more heavy you feel. So when we have dessert, we feel like just lazy, you feel dull and you just feel dozing off. Why? That effect of kapha guna. It's heavy, it's cold and wet. It's really good to nourish our body, and that's why our main, if you look at when the nourishing ages, the developing stages are, the children's stages, up to 12 years of age, we don't really give them really spicy or, food. We focus them to give milk-based product. The diet is heavily based upon carbs. In modern term, what this sweet guna is, it's carbohydrates. It's protein and it's fat. And the good source of this sweet dosha in our everyday diet is whole grain, starchy vegetables. Sugar, honey, and all these in our diet represents the sweet taste. We all have that in our 3 meal times. We have bread or cereal in the morning. We probably have something like maybe sandwich in the afternoon or pasta in the evening. So this is our sweet guna. The sour taste, which is again earth and fire. So how is earth and fire? Its earth is heavy, but fire is sharp and hot. So this taste, when you put, for example, pickled vegetables, put on your tongue and you would just immediately feel what, sour taste and which guna it's showing. What this brings to us if in a platter is the acids. So citric acid, which is really, really needed for digestion. This is the part of digestive enzyme. And when Ayurveda suggests one should have all these 6 tastes at 1 meal time because of these different food ingredients and the enzymes needed to form to make a good diet and get proper nutrients to our body. We looked at the sweet taste, which represents by carbohydrates and proteins. Sour taste is usually organic, the acid, citric acid or acetic acid. Which food provides us that? So tomatoes, plums, berries, So again, it's not restricted that you should pick from this food group or that. No, a good combination from all food group is what needed. Pungent, fire and air. So there is a fire, and if it gets in combination, air, what would happen? It would spread everywhere. How is it? It's hot, but it's light because it's moving upward. Yeah, the fire moves upward. It's light and it's sharp. And what are the food? What are the food which provides us this pungent taste in our everyday cooking is hot peppers, chili, onion, garlic, black pepper, cloves. These are the, so when we cook food with these spices, you are adding that taste to your diet. So it's not separately thinking, oh, I need to add this taste and that taste to my diet. But think about a food platter, like you have probably bread and you're making some curry, or you have rice and curry. Easily you can incorporate all these 6 tastes in your diet. Yeah? Beeter. So all leafy green vegetables, they represent this beeter taste, which is space and air, which are drying. These are usually very drying. So people who have a lot of kapha, water element in their body, we recommend a diet, so based on developing this beeter taste, increasing the beeter taste in their diet. So the water component, what it needs is dryness. It gets balanced. Yeah, so use a lot of leafy greens, spinach, kale, lettuce, all leafy greens basically. This provides alkaloids and glycosides. In modern terminology, why all 6 tastes is needed? One is giving us carb, one is giving us protein, other is providing us fat, other is providing us acid. This food group is providing us alkaloids. That is why it is really suggested that each meal time you should have at least 6 tastes in each meal time. Salty, so we know the chemical form of salt, like table salt we use to balance, to have the salt in our diet. But these are the natural source where you can use salt in natural form, which is soy sauce, seaweed, especially. And when it's wonderful once you start using it in your cooking, you actually can produce a very healthy meal with only natural ingredients and in no time, with the Ayurvedic principles, which is suitable for your body type and which would keep you healthy for longer term. And that is the goal. That is the science of life which is given by Ayurveda. And that is your goal actually, to stay fit, not just bodily, mind, body, and soul. So not just indulging on sweet taste and then feeling dull and lethargic and no energy and not able to do your daily chores, but having a good proportion of all these 6 tastes so that all these three energies remain in balance. Astringent. This is quite new. This taste, sometimes it's hard to explain that taste, but if you have probably eaten unripe banana or raw turmeric. No? Okay. What else? Gooseberry? Amla we call it, that it's very typical to Indian subcontinent, this fruit is, which is a main ingredient in Triphala, the Ayurvedic herb, the amla, gooseberry. And that is the proper example of astringent taste. If you eat it and after a while you feel that there is either something, a coating like on your tongue, it's heavy, it's dry, it's cold, and that what that provides is the modern term is what it provides is tannins. Again, these are really important for us, and this is a part of digestive enzymes. They help us to digest the food really easily. Lentils, all lentils fall under that astringent taste. So again, having good balance of rice and lentils. So you are giving sweet taste and astringent taste. You are adding some green leaves, some green leafy vegetables. So providing, bitter taste as well. You are adding salt to it. You are adding some tomatoes, some berries to it. So this is how you make your food at each meal time, including all 6 tastes. Okay, so we learn a lot about that. So now we're going to put this understanding into practical knowledge. Okay. Recipes to balance a dosha. So I am I'm going to give you examples. So of my, I'm just going to explain it. I'm feeling really nervous, really anxious. I don't want to do this job which I'm doing at the moment, but I'm interested in some other job. I want to do something. I want to listen to music, but at the same time, I want to do some exercise as well. I'm feeling aches and pain in my body. My body is really dry skin at the moment. I have dandruff in my hair. I have lost a lot of weight. I have energy, maybe just a couple of hours in a day. The most of the time of the day, I feel really low mood and low energy. So I'm a typical Vata person here. I'm explaining myself as with psychological aspects and with physical characteristics as well. I'm really skinny. Okay. So if you are making a food for a person who has Vata qualities or Vata energy, air factor in dominance, the same recipe, you can now make it to provide that Vata person some more calm, soothing, grounding effect as well as nourishing by adding the appropriate spices, by choosing the ingredients which are based on the sweet taste. Because again, remember what is sweet taste is? It's heavy. You want to provide nourishment. So kapha based. So counteracting the effect. But how is this possible? Only if you know your energies. If you know what is right for you and what is not. Second example, I'm going to give it to you. It's again, pitta is very, very easy to relate to most of the people. That's what I have found in my 20 years of providing seminars is when I give example for pitta, because see, most of us have pitta either in balance or towards over the edge side. Why I tell you? Because again, pitta is related to the rajoguna. And what is rajoguna is always wanting something. Yeah, and it represents the young age from year 20 to 40. This age group usually have high pitta in their body. So think about this age group as working families or climbing up the ladder, wanting a promotion from manager to store manager to regional manager to whatever divisional manager, always wanting to progress. Have done this course, I want to go on to another course. Okay, fine. I got married. Now I want to buy this car. I want to buy my own house. All this wanting, usually you see in this age group. Yeah, 20 to 40, where everybody just climbing up somewhere, wanting and wanting. This is Rajoguna, attachment. Yeah, all of that. And that's where most of the time when I say Pitta is more dominant in this age group. Whilst kapha is more dominant in the younger group from 0 to 20 years. You will see that people in this age group usually have cough and cold often. Children, usually get cough and cold really frequently because of the high kapha during that age group. And when you go over 40, 50 of age, body aches and pains, arthritic symptoms, yeah, because of the high vata. So there is again a age-wise as well, there is a predisposition of each energy. Now, Pitta is what it is. It's fire and earth. You naturally have that because you're a working person. You are in that age group. You are in a profession which always wants you to perform the best. And now, because of so-called your schedule, you're not able to eat 3 meals at a time. Remember, Pitta always have high digestive fire. They can't go without food. Now, you miss the lunch time because of your deadline. Your manager said not to go to lunch at this time, you missed it. What you're drinking is coffee just to satisfy your hunger or something, coffee or crisp. What will happen? This is a whole combination I'm talking about, which I see a lot in my everyday practice when people oh, I'm being put on omeprazole capsules or lansoprazole capsule, in the morning, and I don't really want to take that. Okay, what is your lifestyle? I work 9 till 5:30. I don't get regular lunch breaks. Whenever I don't get lunch break, I don't, whenever I don't eat anything, I just have a couple of cups, go for tea or coffee and complement it with crisp. All of these things are increasing the pitta in the body. Okay. Now here is the chance to make that increased pitta, balance it. When you go home, at least make a meal which is counteracting this effect. Again, when you go home and if you are cooking with onion and garlic and tomatoes and gravy and pitta and bread, this all going to increase the pitta again. So whole day, think about that in a energy wise. Which energy is already increased is only the fire, pitta energy. So when you come home, be mindful, first of all, and then take a pause and cook simple khichdi or eat, soup. Just mix vegetable soup. That should satisfy that pitta, calm the pitta. It won't increase it till at least next day when you go again, start your whole journey again next day. So this is how you can make the recipe adaptable for your own energy. And that is what the Ayurvedic introduction to Ayurvedic cooking is. Okay. So we're going to create a recipe with sweet potato, bag of sweet potato given to all. How many participants we have? 11. So bag of sweet potato is given to all of you. Now look your energies first. Would you make, if you have vata predominance, okay? How you would make that sweet potato is you will boil them, you will puree them and add some cumin, coriander, and then you will have that. It would give you perfect nutrition. If you have kapha dominance, the same sweet potatoes, you would actually just saute them with ginger fennel seed, have some little bit of spices to it, and that same sweet potatoes will be absolutely easy for you to digest if you have kapha dominance. And for pitta, just roast them with drizzle of oil, add some fresh basil to it and savor it. So they would give you the best nutrients. Let's think about opposite. Now you are, so you have high kapha. And if you boil them, boiled potatoes, what will happen? It will increase the water content from that potatoes. Yeah. You already have kapha, which is again heavy on water. That increase the water content. It's not good for your energy. Okay. If you have high pitta and if you are, there's frying, I didn't put the frying or adding more spices. You can't really fry or even saute it with spices if you have high pitta in your diet. And that is the beauty of understanding the basic principle of Ayurveda, which is 3 dosha, 6 taste, your Agni ball. Are you able to digest it? How is your digestive fire? Do you have enough digestive fire or you have ama in you? Okay, these all terms makes it really this is good for basic understanding, but if you are really interested and if you really want to develop your understanding and make the food on Ayurvedic principle, you probably need to spend a lot of time reading about all of these concepts, and then slowly it would start making sense. The food becomes, it's your relation actually with food. When I pick up a vegetable like potatoes or ginger or cucumber, I actually relate to its qualities, because by that time I have definitely made sure that it is organic. Yeah, it is fresh, because I usually go to farmers market or I make sure they are fresh. Most of the time it's we now have from last year, it's been fortunate to be able to spend more time in gardening, actually doing gardening. So I actually managed to do a lot of herb, my own herbs I'm growing, and vegetables as well. But I have made sure until that now on the kitchen counter, what I need to focus is the quality of that particular food. Is it going to increase the fire? Is it going to increase the kapha, or is it going to increase the vata? Is it tridosha? Is it balancing? Quite a lot of food what we eat is actually a balancing food. Okay, so that is what I had to say. I know it is a lot to take in within this session, but I hope you at least taken some inspiration or some understanding or some tips from here, and might have understand a little bit more about Ayurvedic concepts. So thank you so much for your time, and yes, I'm open for any questions you may have now, please.
Kanchan, would you be able to stop sharing the screen? Then we
Yeah,
can put it onto gallery and we can see
Yeah.
everybody.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you, Kanchan, for that very informative and interesting talk. I'm sure we all learned something new today. Thank you. We do have some questions on the chat.
Yeah. So I'm just going to start with the top, if that is okay with you.
Okay.
Yeah, fantastic. So can we consciously modify our dosha type? Okay, so there are two different things here, dosha type and Prakruti. So Prakruti, it's something we are born with. It's the unique genetic quality which we are born with, which is we cannot change it. Okay, so if I'm born with 10, I'm putting it in the numbers now so it's easy to understand. So 10 of Vata, 20 of Pitta, and 70 of Kapha. I cannot change this. Okay, but dosha type. So dosha, when we talk about dosha, it is easily get influenced by your surrounding. There are quite a lot of contributing factor which can change the state of dosha in our body. First is age. As I mentioned, when you are young, Kapha dosha is naturally in dominance. When you are in middle age, Pitta dosha is naturally in dominance. And when you are older than retirement age or older, Vata dosha is in dominance. Secondly, again, what you eat. It depends on that. So there are a lot of contributing factor which affects this balance of dosha. And yes, we consciously can, and that is the whole point. Yes, if you feel that you are having acidity, which is representation of high pitta, you can consciously, by choosing the right choices of diet and lifestyle, can modify the dosha. And that is the understanding what Ayurveda gives you basically. I hope that is given you the answer. What are good massage techniques to reduce diabetes in individuals of what age? Massage techniques, are we referring to just techniques here? It's if it is diabetes, again, if it is diabetes type 2, which is easily reversible condition, and I have a lot of patients who's come back from insulin to metformin, and then they're actually on herbal supplements only. But it is a lot of process involved in that with regular monitoring of dietary and herbs and lifestyle modification. But I am not going to comment suggesting only massage technique would help with diabetes. What are good massage techniques? I'm not actually, would anybody be able who from Krishna Keshav?
Krishna Keshav,
you
just elaborate on that question, please.
Is he there? Maybe he's away. Maybe we can come back to him. I know Vivek maybe has a question.
Yeah.
We'll come back to Krishna Keshav with us.
Yeah, my question is to go back to the first question again, Dr. Sharma. So when you explained about the Prakruti, does it mean that we have all the three doshas at different percentage? And if either of them is out of balance, and that's when we call it the dosha?
Yes, correct.
Have I understood it right?
Yes,
okay.
Perfect.
Thank you. That's my question.
So I can be born with high pitta. That's my nature. We say, like what your nature, you cannot change it. But consciously to control it, to reduce it, to make it in balance, it's your conscious decision. So you are born with high pitta, that's fine. So again, there is no right or wrong with this dosha. They're all equal. We need them in our body. So one is metabolism, one is responsible for our movement. Yeah, another gives us structure. We need all these three dosha. We cannot function without them. And having one more than other, it makes us unique. Yeah, it doesn't make us less important, or it just makes us unique. But if the pitta dosha I have I'm born with high pitta, but due to again contributing factor, if I don't look and don't listen to my body, and that pitta goes high and high and high, and it is showing me bodily signs, it is showing me psychologically as well, or it is showing me that how much anger I'm expressing, it is showing me how much acid level I have in my body. That's where you need to understand and consciously change the diet to bring that dosha back to where it is. So for me, the balance could be 70% pitta, 10% vata, and 10% kapha, and I can be myself. It's just understanding the right balance for you.
Can I ask a question?
Yes, please.
I have three questions actually. One is that you're talking about these different prakritis, but what if you have a family of different people? How do you apply that?
Yeah,
because my husband may be like pitta, I may be more like vata.
Yes.
So should I cook 3 different meals?
So that's a wonderful question, and I get a lot of this question asked. I have a family, I have 3 kids, and they're all 3 different doshas basically. They're so unique. And I always give example for this, like my elder one is proper kapha, and second one is proper pitta, like, oh gosh, like you really don't want to mess with her. Absolutely. She is very energetic, she's very sharp, intellectual, but when she is hungry, you just, and that's why I said keep banana with you. These are all practical tips. Like wherever we go out, I have this stuff like, okay, banana for my second daughter. So I don't cook 3 different food types, definitely. What the concept here is, when you incorporate the 6 taste in your each meal time. Now, if we look at our platter, so we have, mostly Indian and South Asian cuisine, if I talk about, is based on carb. Our platter is heavily based on carb. So either we have rice or roti, chapati, parothas, bread, naan bread, something, and then we complement it with some sort of sabzi and lentil and salad and all those small components on the other side. But mostly it's based on carbohydrate. Now, what we need to make sure is we are cooking for everybody, just the balance. Yeah, you're making. When I see my elder one is relishing on just sweet taste, because they're kids, I can give you example with them. I just then need to intervene and said, can you please take a little bit more of dal, or have some more shak or sabzi, vegetable, eat some more vegetable. That is giving the balance. So none of the doshas, due to that taste, sweet taste, will increase the kapha dosha again. We're talking about ourselves as an adult. You don't need to cook separate meal, but what and quantity, that is the decision maker here. How much quantity of each food group you will take in your plate to balance your own dosha. Does that make sense?
Yes. Yes.
Because we are understanding, linking it with the qualities of that food. So if it is lentil, it's giving you protein more, which is again, tannins, it's the different taste it's giving. If it is carbohydrate, rotis and chapatis, bread and rice, if you are balancing it, understanding your own. So if it is again high pitta in me, I'm high pitta, I should not touch something oily, even if it is made, like fried samosas and fried bhajiyas and stuff. I should not touch it, because then I'm not listening to my body.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the other question was that you say, you began with that food must be in season. Nowadays, we can get strawberries middle of winter, which is normally should be like in May or June here in the West. So does that mean that we should refrain from these fruits or vegetables?
Ideally, yes, that is what Ayurvedic suggestion is, because at each season, again, we go back to the Pancha Tattva, the 5 elements. So there is a predominance. We're walking into spring now in the UK. Okay, so you will see different season. The temperature will be different. The proportion of Pancha Tattva, the 5 elements will be different, and its effect on us will be different. So
does that also mean we should refrain from the vegetables which are not like locally, or fruits which are not locally available? Actually, like I'm from the Netherlands. We don't have any mango trees here.
Ideally, yes, because as per Ayurveda, it is considered wherever you are, you need to adapt to that environment. You need to really change into because I tell you from my experience, I am born and brought up in India, came to the UK when I'm as an adult. So my likings, affinity was towards Indian food naturally. Yes. Even when I practice back home in India, I used to practice with normal Ayurvedic herbs, which are readily available, you know. When I read a lot about Ayurvedic books, it says actually, it talks about sthavar, it's sthan. It says desh, kar, and sthan. So I tell you what, desh means the country, kar means the time you're in. So, and time is again the time in sense of daytime, nighttime, season. We can talk about, so they talk about these terms and say, wherever you are, you need to make your body adaptable to that climate. Okay.
Yes.
Because of the globalization, it's quite easy for us to get the mango when it's not in season, strawberries when it's not season, and fruit which are not grown in our country basically. But ideally, if you want to be in sync with the 5 elements, so the 5 elements here, the proportion is different than what is in India and what is in Netherlands. So here it's spring. In Australia, probably, I don't know what season, I'm just guessing, it could be summer or winter even. So this is very unique to us where we are, what the 5 elements are, and what is your doshas are, and what is right for that time. And that is why it's a timeless science. You can apply it in India. Equally, you apply the same science to in the UK and to Netherlands, to South Africa, wherever, as long as you have the understanding which season we are in. So winter, I give you example. If it is winter in the UK, and if I start eating, you know, raw bananas or, you know, fruit, which is not really suggested for winter, what would happen to my body? Even though it is easily available because of the globalization, I will increase mucus in my body.
Yes.
Yeah, ideally, yes, but don't make it too restrictive. Slowly adapt these changes, because there is a lot. Again, if you want to be sustainable change, it's always good, slow, step by step, and understanding basically.
Okay, and other question I have is that you said about sprouting the beans and then putting them in a Ziploc bag. Do you cook them after that, or?
Yes. So they are raw. They are sprouted, they're raw, Ziploc it. So I'm locking them when they are best. I'm saving them, the whole nutrients I'm saving, freezing them. When I'm ready to cook them, then I'm just normally how I would cook. I don't cook beans without spices. I do add a lot of spices in it. I don't make it spicy as if in hot, but I make it flavorsome with adding lots of different spices.
Yes. Then one like personal question. I've been doing on a keto diet for the last 1.5, 2 years. I had many ailments, like a whole list, which all went away. But I'm eating salads, which I should not. I understand now. What is your idea on I'm doing intermittent fasting and doing this keto diet?
Yeah, so Ayurveda never suggests any diet.
Yes.
Okay, so that's again a shock, but I fully believe in this theory that our mind, body, and soul is a single entity. So if I'm craving for ice cream, at that time I should lick ice cream. I don't savor it, but I lick the ice cream because I don't want to think about that food. I don't want it constantly on my mind. I want to be mindful in everything I do. Okay. So I'm sitting in front of you and my family is eating probably ice cream and my attention is going in there. So I'm not fully here. I'm not being mindful in the situation. So Ayurveda never suggests of refraining or taking out any food ingredient from your diet. It always mentioned to have a balanced mind, body, soul, have all six tastes. Each taste satisfies something in your mind as well. If you get rid of sugar, so not I'm saying white sugar, but any carb base from your diet, okay? So you don't eat bread, you don't eat rice, you don't eat sugar in any form, even fruits, if you, because that's another source of sugar, which is sweet taste again. If you get rid of that, what would happen to you?
Well, I feel very good, I must say. I do eat certain fruits.
Yeah.
But I actually feel very good.
No, your diet is based on salad only. Only salad you eat.
No, not only salad, but I cut down very much on the carbs.
Yes, so you cut down, but get rid of that carb. We're talking about completely eliminating a taste from your diet.
Yes.
It is not good for your psychological composition.
Okay.
Yeah, it is not good for you as a soul, as an entity. And that's why, okay, intermittent fasting is recommended in Ayurveda. Regular fasting is recommended in Ayurveda. So weekly, one should do at least once a day fasting. Intermittent fasting is advisable, but having just salad in your diet is not recommended. Okay, where are you going to get your natural source of sugar then? If you are solely based on salad. Proteins, other digestive enzymes, where are you getting those nutrients from? So the other effect you probably would recover from long-term chronic conditions such as diabetes or any skin-related condition or autoimmune conditions probably. But that might involve a lot of other problems. So digestive system, constipation you might, go into, skin allergies you might suffer from, or your energy levels will deplete.
Okay.
So that's why Ayurveda never suggests eliminating any single food type, but it just eating right amount as per your digestive fire, Agni Bala. So if you have low Agni, low digestive fire, eat little bit and then divide that little food into different like protein, carb, vegetable, and juice or anything. But all six tastes must be there.
Okay. Good. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Is Krishna Kirsha with us? He joined us and then had to go. I think he's getting busy. Does anyone else have any more questions?
There is a question here. What foods increase kapha? So kapha dosha is sweet taste. Link it to sweet taste because both are based on the 5 elements of water and earth. Okay, so anything which is heavy to digest, sweet taste is linked to kapha. So rice, milk products, cheese, this is all on kapha side. So it increases kapha. I understand it is a lot of new concepts and a lot of new terms you might have heard, and sometimes we're so accepting a new science or knowledge from somebody else, it sometimes is a hesitance as well. And that is why I'm so open and I said, read about Ayurveda. Don't restrict it up to just it's it's something Indian subcontinent science, or it is something restricted to Vedas, or those people who are on spiritual or yogic path should always read it. No, actually, if you think about it and link it in your everyday life, it just starts making sense actually, that it is so easy to understand, it is so easy to apply. And it can actually, increase our immunity. I have seen that recently. We are going through a lot of last year, and immunity is something which we cannot buy, which we cannot, it has to be developed over the years by choosing the right choices, by choosing what is right for your body types. slowly, layer by layer, nourishing yourself, your body cells, making them stronger. So any allergens come in contact, your body is ready to fight. Okay, so what makes us more stronger is the right choices of eating right food and lifestyle as well. It's not solely on diet. Equally importance is given to lifestyle as well. And that's why I'm so confident when I say diabetes type 2, which is due to the wrong choices of food and lifestyle. It's developed, isn't it, in us? It is easily reversible condition. Have you caught it in the early years before you go on the chemical ingredients, medical treatment, conventional medicine has offered? You can easily reverse this condition with right diet and lifestyle.
Krishna Keshavadas, who's there?
Namaste.
Namaste,
Thank you,
Prabhu.
Kana, for your day.
Hare Krishna, thank you. So interesting.
My question real quick was just about diabetes. What are some good massage techniques to reduce diabetes in individuals of Vata age?
Yeah, so I think I understood that question correct then. I wanted to ask you in more detail what you are exactly expecting the answer from. So I wouldn't suggest just the massage technique would help in diabetes. So diabetes is quite a dietary condition developed due to the choices of food and lifestyle. If we have really idle, like stable lifestyle, no movement at all, and your job is some kind of 9 till 5:30 on a office, in the office, and your diet is heavily based on carb, there are chances for person to develop a diet. We're talking about type 2 diabetes, yeah? Yeah. So it is a combination of good dietary suggestions, simple herbs such as giloy, madhunashini we call it, and it's really.
My question was more assuming that all the dietary steps are being practiced to the best of our ability and the other activities are being practiced. Is there any additional massage technique that may stimulate like some kind of lymph?
There are yoga poses, yoga asanas, which I can definitely suggest that help to rekindle and increase the secretion of insulin in pancreas. So there are definitely yoga poses to help that. But apart from the marma massage, again, it's a very highly specialized area, and I'm not really well aware of the single aspect of massage technique helping in type 2 diabetes. So I will have to look into it honestly, but I can definitely suggest some yoga poses, and you're already, if somebody's doing dietary and lifestyle changes, cumulative effect should be reversal of diabetes. But I'm not really sure about just the massage techniques.
Do you have anyone you would recommend that may be like very specialized in that?
The marma techniques, yes, I should be able to find out. There are a lot of therapists practicing back home in India and in the UK as well, who are specialized in marma, which are the vital points in our body, and they trigger sometimes, what you're expecting is a special massage technique alongside the dietary and lifestyle and yoga.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I should be able to help you. So I will drop a message. Maybe if you leave me your number, I might be able to suggest few contacts to you.
I appreciate that, Dr. Sharma.
No, thank you.
Can I ask another question?
Sure.
Are there some books or some websites or YouTube channels that you could recommend? Because, I mean, going on the internet is like going into the jungle.
Black hole.
There's so much information available nowadays. So to find
Yes.
a good person, and
Yeah.
also what to look for if you are looking for an Ayurvedic doctor.
Oh, wow. Okay, fantastic. So there are basic books I would suggest to start with. Yeah, we're talking about just if you are interacting with Ayurveda terminology. Vasant Lad is the author, which I will recommend you. He's produced loads and loads of books. David Frawley is another one. I'm just going to probably write in the chat maybe, if that is okay. Yeah. And again, these books, as I said, Ayurveda is a science which encompasses all 8 limbs. So there will be a lot of information, but it's just up to you. You start slowly from understanding the dosha only. As long as you understand each and every term about dosha, half of the job is already done there. So Dr. Lard is something which I would definitely recommend. I don't know the exact name of these books, but these are for general, like to start reading about Ayurveda. What else did you about the Ayurvedic practitioner? Okay, so if I okay, let's put this. If I want to see an Ayurvedic practitioner, so what I would look into is obviously experience, because again, as you said, on internet, you can claim a lot on your website. Okay, there are no such cross-check or credentials you can check too. I can claim that I am doing 100 things on my website. Nobody's going to challenge me about that. So how I suggest a practitioner is he or she needs to be registered with a reputed regulatory body, because then you have certain credentials checked there, isn't it, by that authorized body basically.
Yes.
So here in the UK, we have Ayurvedic Practitioners Association, and we have very strict regulation who we consider as Ayurvedic practitioner, because again, there are, so some people like, there is a lot of interest in Ayurveda and yoga nowadays, and people are offering online classes. For me, I have graduated from university. I've studied 5.5 years, pure just Ayurveda, 5.5 years in university, then practiced 3 years in hospital, and then I became a Ayurvedic practitioner. It's exactly what you would expect from a modern medical MBBS doctor basically. But equally, there are people who can go on online classes, 200 hours of studies remotely, and they are still practicing as a Ayurvedic practitioner. Okay, and we are feeling that it's nothing wrong with that, as long as you have experience, and this is all about experience. So I'm practicing Ayurveda from last 20 years. So in year 2000, I have qualified, and it's 2021. Yeah. Within these 20 years, I have come across a lot of, I'm practicing as a general practitioner. So I see patients, whether they're schizophrenic, last week somebody was bipolar condition, there is a psoriasis, so all this experience. So look for the experience. Okay, that's second thing I would look for. And recommendation. So I wouldn't just pick a practitioner who nobody has gone to. So sometimes, if my friend has recommended, I think that puts a lot of, because it's understanding you as a person. It's not like you have given 5-10 minutes, come on, this is your problem, this is a prescription. It's actually, you need to form a relationship with that practitioner to be able to understand. And once that practitioner is able to understand, then he or she would suggest, this is your Prakruti, and on that Prakruti you're going to form all your dietary and lifestyle suggestion. So imagine if I'm suggesting you your Pitta, and if you're not Pitta, and all your diet and lifestyle you will change according to my suggestion, it would be catastrophic, isn't it?
Yes.
So authorized, like somebody is recommended, they're linked to recommended some reputed organization, how many years of practice they have done, which university or affiliation they have, has it been recommended by somebody? And again, webinars and seminars, you can see how much public appearance the person has. Because for me, if I'm appearing here, even though the question and today's topic was just Ayurvedic cooking, but I'm not going to stop anybody who is asking me question, because that's something I'm expected to answer, and I'm expected to have knowledge from, isn't it? So something that gives you a little credential as well.
Okay, thank you very much.
No worries.
Sorry, I was on mute there. Thank you so much, Kanchan. It's been a wonderful, wonderful program.
Thank you.
And so informative. And I think you're going to be doing another one at some point. Is that correct?
I think for time being, yes, I'm going to take a break from webinars because I'm starting my Ayurveda Academy, and the batches are running from Saturday and Sunday weekends only. So it is going to be a little bit difficult for next 6 months. And once that batch is over, hopefully there will be some time, because I guess If you are flexible for weekdays, then there are chances. But if it is weekend only, then it will be a little bit tricky. So we'll talk about this though.
Okay, no, wonderful. But all your details you posted, and it's on the, I think you posted already. So if anyone wants your details, then we can, you know, send them out, and also follow your other programs that you're doing. So
yes, I will share the details of Academy, which is a small courses I'm offering because of this workshops and seminars. People do show a lot of interest in knowing more about how do I know my Prakruti. Okay, fine. We know what is Vata, what is Kapha. So we started doing these small webinars and seminars. And yes, I will share the details with maybe Krishna Nandini Mataji, and then you can circulate it to whoever. It's online platforms. Anybody can join in.
Lovely. Thank you so much. That's wonderful.
Thank you.
Nandini?
Uma Devi will lead us into Kirtan and to conclude. And yes, Uma Devi. I'll share the Kirtan on the screen.
Hare Nama Krishna Yatavaya Namaha.
Madhavaya Madhavaya Kesavaya Namaha.
Yatavaya Madhavaya
Keshavaya Namaha.
Gopal Govinda Ram Sri Madhusudana.
Gopal Govinda Ram Sri Madhusudana.
Dari Gopinath Madana Mohana.
Hari Gopinath Mohana.
Chaitanya Nityananda Sri Advaita Chandra.
Shri Chaitanya Nityananda Shri Advaita Chandra.
Sadara Sri Vasadi Gaura Bhaktarunda.
Shri Vasari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda.
Jaya Rupa Sanatana Bhattu Raghunatha.
Jaya Rupa Sanatana Bhattu Raghunatha.
Jiva Gopala Bhatta Dasa Raghunatha.
Shri Jiva Gopala Bhatta Dasa Raghunatha.
Jai Gosani Kari Charana Vandana.
Jai Gosani Kari Charana Vandana.
Jai Vaite Vignana Sabhishta Purana.
Yaha Vaite Vignana Sabhishta Purana.
Jai Gosani Jar Mohita Radasa.
Jai Gosani Radasa.
Sabara Padarena Mora Panchagrasa.
Tasavara Pada Renu Mora Panchagrasa.
Charana Sevi Bhakta Sanivasa.
Sevi Bhakta Sanivasa.
Janme Janme Morhe Habilasa.
Janame Mora Vilasa.
Jai Gosani Jabe Raja Kailevasa.
Jai Goshai Gabe Raja Kailagasa.
Radha Krishna Nitya Leela Karila Prakasa.
Radha Krishna Nitya Leela Karila Prakasha.
Ananda Bola Hari Bhaja Vrindavana.
Ananda Bolo Hari Bhaja Vrindavana.
Guru Vaishnava Pade Majai Yamana.
Shri Guru Vaishnava Pade Majayamana.
Guru Vaishnava Pad Padma Karihasa.
Shri Guru Vaishnava Pada Padma Karyasa.
Nama Sankirtana Kahe Narotama Dasa.
Harinama Sankirtana Kahe Narottama Dasa.
Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare.
Hare Ram Ram Rama Hare Hare.
Hare
Rama Hare Hare.
Nitai Gauranga Nitai Gauranga.
Nitai Gauranga Nitai Gauranga.
Nitai Gauranga Jaya Nitai Gauranga.
Nitai Gauranga Jaya Nitai Gauranga.
Yuga Pavana Gaura Hari.
Patita Pavana Gaura Hari.
Patita Pavana Gaura Hari.
Patita Pavana Gaura Hari.
Gaura 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 Hari.
Gaura 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 Hari.
Gaura 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 Hari.
Gaura 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 Hari.
Rama Raghava Rama Raghava Rama Raghava Rakshama.
Rama Raghava Rama Raghava Rama Raghava Rakshama.
Kesava Krishna Kesava Krishna Kesava Paima.
Krishna Keshava Krishna Keshava Krishna Keshava Pahima.
Krishna 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 He.
Krishna 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 He.
Rama 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 He.
Rama 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 He.
Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna Hare Krishna
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 Krishna,
Krishna Hare Hare.
Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare.
Hare Rama Hare Rama
Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Nitai Gaura Hari Bol.
Nitai Gaura Hari Bol Hari Bol
Hari
Hari Bol Nitai Gaura Hari Bol.
Gaura Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Nitai Gaura Hari Bol.
Nitai Gaura Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Nitai Gaura Hari Bol.
Jaya Guru Deva Jaya Guru Deva Guru Deva Jaya Guru Deva.
Jaya Guru Deva Jaya Guru Deva Guru Deva Jaya Guru Deva.
Guru Deva Jaya Guru Deva Guru Deva Jaya Guru Deva.
Jaya Guru Deva Jaya Guru Deva Guru Deva Jaya Guru Deva. Dhanavats to all the devotees.
Krishna Keshava Das, can you just finish with the Jai Davani?
Sure. Jai Om Vishnu Pad, Srila Bhakti Rakshakshara Dev Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai. Jai Om Vishnu Pad, Srila Bhakti Sundar Govinda Dev Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai. All glories to Srila Bhakti Nirmal Acharya Maharaj Ki Jai. All glories to the assembled devotees Ki Jai. Bhakti Vrinda Ki Jai. Glories to Arupanuga Guvavarga Ki Jai. Haridas Thakur Ki Jai. Vrindavan Dham Ki Jai. Navadvip Dham Ki Jai. Giri Govardhan Gupta Govardhan Dham Ki Jai. Tulsi Devi Ki Jai. Nitai Gaura Hari Hari Bol.
Hari Bol.
Thank you.
Dhanavats. Dhanavats.
Dhanavats.
Dhanavats.